Hi everyone, and welcome to another video from despairrepair.com. In this video we're going to show you how to solve a slow retracting seatbelt like this one if the seatbelt webbing and the loop are okay. So stay tuned. despairrepair.com. Before we start, I would just like to mention that we've made another video about how to solve a slow retracting seatbelt by cleaning the seatbelt fabric or webbing and cleaning the loop up here. I'll leave a link below, so if you conclude that that's the problem, you can go and check it out. But if you've done all that, so you've cleaned the webbing and cleaned the loop and still the seatbelt doesn't retract properly, then the seatbelt retractor mechanism is the next thing to check. For this repair, you'll need a set of trim tools like these, okay, and a can of WD-40. If you don't have WD-40, a silicone-based spray will also do the job. Before you start, best take off the minus battery terminal. This is a safety precaution so you don't accidentally activate the small explosive charge located on the seatbelt retractor mechanism. If you drive an older car and you're sure that it has the older retractor mechanism, you don't have to, but if you're not sure, it's best to take it off. The first thing you'll have to do is take out the trim panel in order to reach the seatbelt retractor. It's located down here. This is a specific situation since this is a 3-door Clio and the trim panel, this part here, is connected to the rest of the trim. So it's all gonna have to go out. On 4-door cars, you'll only have to take off this part and you'll be able to reach the retractor. Also here I'm gonna have to take off the lower seatbelt screw, then the screw for the rear seatbelts, and then pull it all out. On 4-door cars and on most cars, at least what I've seen, you can solve the problem without releasing any screws for the seatbelt. If you have to, the most common screw you'll have to release is the one holding the front seatbelt down there. On this part, I would also like to recommend that you Google how to take off the trim panel for your car exactly, in order to avoid breaking the clips holding it or even breaking the trim panel itself. Also, make sure that if there is any order of taking off the trim panels, that you should follow it. For instance, this is just an example, the upper trim panel may have to go off first and then the lower second. So whatever the case, best take a look in order to avoid causing damage. Now, the best way to start taking off the trim, whatever car you drive, is to take off the rubber seal first, okay? So sort of peel it off like this. Be careful so you don't tear it, okay? This gives you access to the plastic trim panel. Okay, here on the Clio there's a big wide space, so you don't perhaps have to use the trim tool. You can use your fingers. If you have to, then put in the trim tool like this and open it. And the trim panel is off, and this is the part we're looking for, okay? This should be what's causing the problem. Now, the first thing you want to do is totally retract the seatbelt, okay? In case of the Clio, there is a extra plastic guide here. I've taken it off. So, rewind the seatbelt as much as you can, okay? Like this. Go to the end, like this, and you can put a plastic laundry pinch up here so it doesn't retract. This is how it's supposed to look when you put the laundry pinch. After that, take the WD-40 spray, make sure to put a straw on it and spray some WD-40 spray here, so between the metal part here and the plastic part there. Okay, so use a few short bursts like this. You don't have to flood everything, okay? Wait a bit for it to get inside and then start releasing the seatbelt and let the WD-40 penetrate the mechanism as much as possible. After that, take off the laundry pin, okay, and then pull the seatbelt. I'm doing this with one hand, so when you're not filming, it's much easier, okay, and pull the seatbelt as far as it goes and let it retract. This will make the WD-40 get inside the mechanism and lubricate it properly, like this, okay? Then once more, retract it to the end, add some more WD-40 spray if it doesn't start working immediately, like it should, and then repeat the whole procedure. Once you've finished, try out the retractor, see that it works properly. Seems much better. Okay, so works just fine. On the Clio, I had to return this metal anchor here in order to test that it works properly. On your car, you may not have to. So first check that it works properly and then return the trim panel. In order to save you some time, I've already fitted the trim panel back. What's important here to know is that have patience and take your time, make sure everything sits in place properly. Don't use excessive force. If any part of the panel doesn't want to fit in, take your time, see what's wrong. There may be a misaligned clip or something. Try not to break off anything. If you do, then once you return the trim panel, it may wobble or rattle when driving, which is really annoying. Also, if you had to take off any screws off the seatbelt, make sure to return them and tighten them properly. If you really want to be diligent, you can buy new screws and use a torque wrench to tighten them. The point is to return everything as it was. Now, let's see if we fix the problem. We'll retract the seatbelt to the end. Let it go. Once more. Seems that it works just fine. For the end, let's give it a try. Okay, works just fine. As you've seen, a simple procedure that you can surely do on your own. The biggest problem may be taking off the plastic trim panels. Again, Google it or ask someone or look at a manual how to do it so you don't break off anything. Have some patience, which is perhaps the most important thing. If you've done all this and the seatbelt retractor still winds the seatbelt slowly, you didn't get any result, then you should think about replacing the whole retractor. Besides replacing it, you can try and fix it. I've seen people do this pretty successfully, but I wouldn't recommend it for safety reasons. New ones tend to be pricey. There is also the option of buying a used one, which is also okay if you know the origin of the belt and you know that it hasn't already been in an accident. So thanks for watching. I hope this video helps. I hope you'll be able to fix the problem. Visit us at our website despairrepair.com, where you can find more useful car and driving tips. Also, you can find this whole tutorial in written form and in more detail. So thanks for your time and thanks for watching.